Colleague and Leader, I would ask for the Minister for Education to come in here for a debate about the social, personal and health education syllabus, the SPHE, and how it interacts with the child protection obligations under the law on all schools and indeed on us all. We did some child protection very well in this country about a decade ago, and thankfully we have very robust child protection procedures in schools dating from 2017. And these mandatory school procedures are informed by, among other things, awareness of the vulnerability of children around sexual matters, the capacity for grooming and the inability of a child to consent. And the procedures clearly spell out what sexual exploitation is and how it can link to pornography and to sexually explicit material. Now, these procedures, importantly, precede in time the recent push to prematurely sexualise young people through school curricula. They precede the queer theory and gender theory-laden SPHE syllabi, which seek to disrupt dominant and normalising binaries, pretending that such binaries and such norms are oppressive. These child protection procedures precede the worrying whistleblower, frankly, evidence from an SPHE teacher concerned with recent Department of Education funded training courses delivered in DCU, in part by academics sold on queer theory and gender identity ideology, and frankly, which featured such pretty toxic and desensitising material, according to what I saw anyway. Despite plentiful alerts, indeed thousands, delivered by parents to the NCCA, the National Council of Curriculum and Assessment, during the consultation and design phase of the SPHE curriculum, the NCCA pushed ahead with a reductive syllabus inspired by hedonism under the guise of inclusiveness. And even the ASDI recently proposed to its teachers that they should not teach an SPHE programme if they don't feel confident to do so. And that's a welcome but insufficient response. So I call on patrons and boards of management in all schools to subject immediately the new NCCA SPHE syllabus content and methodology to a full Children First audit, as is their duty. School boards of management cannot escape the duty to engage in full child protection and risk assessment, and that includes anything that is being pushed at them by the state or its minions or agents forming syllabi. Examine the content of textbooks, resource material in the context of children's vulnerability. And finally, I would say people should insist to their schools that this, in writing if necessary, that this be done. And I would say that the Minister should now sack or replace the board of the NCCA for its disregard of parental sensitivities, despite the constantly expressed steady groundswell of concerns over recent years. The NCCA has created an unforgivable mess and needs to be made publicly answerable. There can be no, thank you, Colleague, there can be no hiding places, and the Minister for Education needs to stop covering for educational incompetence.
I call on Minister for Education to resign in light of the SPH training administered by the DCU. Minister Foley's interview on News Talk last week showed a shocking level of negligence from the media to do their job and probe the story. Presenter Ciara Cuddihy flippantly dismissed it as a non-story in response to Minister Foley's defence of the training as a seminar that was for adults by adults. Rather than discredit the messenger, he decided the minister was right. He decided the whistleblower was giving misleading information. The real lie is the cover-up by both Minister Foley and the media, and the whistleblower on the course discussed how some content was already administered in the UK in classrooms. Also, the WISER programme, a similarly obscene and graphic SPHE sex education course, received complaints from parents in a Galway school some time ago. For the record, the entire course was recorded. I can only discuss a part of that course today. The Minister should be sacked immediately because this is grooming in its purest form. If you tell people children are sexually innocent, they are effectively grooming. Children can never consent, and these are children as young as 12 being exposed to obscene content in the classroom. And to those who would retort that children are looking at it anyway online, this is the so-called safe environment to receive information. I need only point to Senator Mullen's bill to ban online pornography for minors. It cannot become law fast enough. It is a real solution that ensures that children are shielded from sexual contact. The Minister has spent £9 million for child protection on deactivating smartphones in school when children's mental health services are on their knees. A better way to use this money would have been to invest in counselling services in the school where it is sorely needed. I call on the Minister to resign. She has presided over and defended this content, and it's simply not good enough. The children deserve better.